In this video, I get together with 3 top privacy projects.
Take the first step towards online privacy. Get NordVPN.
Ready to hop in the 6-4 and cruise around the blocks? There's a storm coming to the underworld and the heat is on. Take over the blocks and call the shots. It's time to hustle or get hustled. What's it gonna be? Stay sharp. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there. Don't let them catch you slipping. Only real gangsters thrive in the dope wars world.
Hey Draith, hey Ruben, hey Mr. Quibs, thank you so much for making yourselves available. You are, between you, Firo, Pirate Chain, and Conceal Network. You're all members of the BPSAA network, BPSAA Alliance. We're going to have a conversation about your respective projects and how they compare with each other as top privacy cryptocurrencies. Before we get into that, please subscribe, follow me on Twitter, CryptoRichYT. If you're watching this on YouTube, please don't do that. Come over and follow me on Odyssey, where I post all my videos. You can also find me on ThreeSpeak and on Rumble, but you'll get the most selection on Odyssey. And what I got to say nowadays, because it's true, is I cover crypto and I cover politics. This one is about crypto. Hey, Draith. I'm going to start with you, Draith. You are the team lead for the BPSAA.Vision, Blockchain Privacy Security and Adoption Alliance. You're also the captain of the good ship Pirate Chain, of which I am a first mate. And then there's Ruben, who is the lead dev for Firo, formerly Zcoin, and Mr. Quibs from the...
I don't do any dev.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, Ruben. Thank you. You're the lead, team lead or something. And Mr. Quibs from the Conceal Network. Okay, we're going to start by... Each of these projects, I have all the links in the description below, are privacy projects. And we're going to look at the different features of each one. You know, what is CCX like compared to R, compared to Firo? Okay. Now, Draith, do you want to get us all going? Because you were saying something before we started recording. Yeah, you were about these 3 projects. Because one of the ways that people are going to listen to this recording, or they may listen to this recording, is like, oh no, this one's no good. This one's better than that one. This one's better than that one. That one's no good. This one's more private. All of that, right? Just something to address that.
Yeah, so one of the beauties of the BPSAA, aside from projects working together and meeting up every week and chatting about not only privacy, things that are going on in space, collaboration stuff, is that over time you notice as a project joins the BPSAA, you see the community start opening up a little bit more towards additional privacy projects, not to compete, but realizing that not one is the end-all be-all. It can't be, because who knows, over time, one may get cracked to where, it's no longer private. So you need to have your options open. So not only that, there's also different directions that privacy projects are going into, exploring and everything like that. So going into all these different privacy projects in general is always a great idea. So you see communities start opening up and realizing, wow, there's a lot of great privacy projects out there that are doing a bunch of different things. So it becomes less tribalistic over time.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a really good point, because I know Pirate Chain best of all, because I've been involved in it since September 2018, a month after it launched. And then Conceal Network, I'm getting to know because I do the monthly town halls. Firo, I don't know as well as I know the others, but I know there are differences in Pirate Chain to Conceal Network. There's difference. Conceal Network offers different set of tools and utilities to Pirate Chain, and I'm sure Firo differs from Pirate Chain and Conceal Network in what it offers. Let's start with you, Ruben, with what your role is, and then what Firo's features are as a privacy coin, and then I'm going to come to you, Mr. Quibs, about CCX, and then you, Draith, same question.
Sure. So my name is Ruben. I am the project steward I guess that's another way of saying project lead, but then, I would prefer to be seen as a steward of the project, because ultimately, although we have a core team, we are stewards of the project, for the community. That is ultimately what it is. And I guess this is why we're not a big fan of the word lead or things like that. I guess, because kind of like custodians in that sense. So Firo was originally launched as Zcoin back in September 2016, a mainnet, and of course, we rebranded sometime along the way. We have gone through. We've been part of the development of some of the most important privacy protocols in the space. First when we came out, it was Zerocoin, and then we developed a trustless version of that. And then now we're using Lelantus and moving to something called Lelantus Spark, which, even other privacy projects like Beam or even Monero now is taking key ideas from our work here. So obviously we offer privacy like the other, CCX and Conceal and Pirate as well. We also do have a tokenization layer, or like a smart asset type of layer, where we already in release candidate status, where people can actually create their own coins and enjoy the same privacy that Firo provides at the base layer at very cheap fees as well. So I guess we are looking to be not just a privacy coin, but eventually becoming more like privacy as a service, or privacy infrastructure, depending on how you view things.
Okay.
But that's kind of it in a nutshell.
Okay, thank you very much for that nutshell. So Zerocoin protocol moving towards Lelantus and the ability for people to issue their own privacy coins using the Firo protocol. Okay, thank you. Mr. Quibs, CCX, when did you start? Can you give us a brief overview of that project?
Yeah, so Conceal Network launched in May 2018 and is based on the Cryptonoid 2.0 protocol. And Conceal describes itself as focusing on privacy-protected DeFi and encrypted communication. And basically, we're a community in the first place. That's also how the whole project started itself, was a community of like-minded people. And basically, everything we do, we base on 4 fundamental pillars, which are privacy, decentralization, social inclusion, and censorship resistance.
Okay.
And privacy-protected DeFi refers to our cold staking system that we have. And encrypted communications refers to the on-chain self-destructive messaging feature that we have. And something fun to also name here is that Conceal is also working on a similar technology, I believe, to what Ruben just said, which is privacy-protected assets. It's a bit down on the road on our roadmap, so we're not quite there yet, but it's being worked on. But of course, we're doing it on a different protocol. So it's kind of fun to be here with all these, with Firo and Pirate Chain, because we all achieve we pursue the same goals, but we take a different path, different way to roam. And that's really, really interesting.
Okay, thank you. Drafe?
Yeah, so Pirate Chain started in August of 2018. I joined in October of 2018, just as a community member, and then wanted to help out the project as much as possible and work my way up to captain about a year and a half later. So Pirate Chain utilizes ZK Snarks as its privacy protocol. We were the first fully shielded chain to be in existence based off of Zcash. So Zcash, while it has transparent and shielded transactions, users on our chain can always send shielded transactions. So as of right now, we're working on a ton of different things, one of which is building out things that allow people to use us as a currency. For example, one of our crew members, the quartermaster, he actually built Barter, which is a Craigslist type site to where people can buy and sell items for Pirate Chain. Right, so it's a classified site to where You can list any item you want, and you know that anybody who uses that site will be paying or will accept Pirate Chain as a payment.
Right.
So there's that. We have a hardware wallet that we'll be releasing sometime in probably the next month or two, hopefully. That's done by one of our other teammates, Mulroy. It's been about a year and a half in the making almost. And he's got it down to just the final few things he's got to figure out or just implement. And then from that point, we can start taking pre-orders, which I think they actually started already on Barter. So you can go on Barter and check out the hardware wallet that's listed on there, and then pre-order from there. And I think it's going to be the first hardware wallet that'll allow fully shielded transactions to be available on there, because no hardware wallet in existence as of right now, at least, can run Pirate Chain.
Yes.
So this will be the first one that'll be able to do that.
That's very, very
And
exciting.
then there's several other things here and there, like games and stuff like that, that use Pirate Chain as a payment. So.
We can come to that, and I just want to add a couple of things about Pirate Chain, given my involvement with it, is that, and this is nothing, when I talk about Pirate Chain or any of us talk about our respective projects, it's not in any way a detriment to the other project. It's like, this coin is blue, this one is yellow, this one is red with blue stripes. Doesn't mean that the other ones are no good. They just have different features. And Pirate Chain, I think it's fair to say it's complete. As a cryptocurrency, it's complete, and its intention is really just to be a means of private payment, private exchange of value, in the way that Bitcoin doesn't have privacy, but it's just an exchange, a means of value exchange. Pirate Chain intends to be that. And then Pirate Chain is also a community-based project, fully decentralized. And I think that same goes for CCX and also for Firo. Fully decentralized community project. People join, rise up through the ranks by contributing and getting involved. And the more and more they get involved, then the more and more
One thing
they take.
If I can interrupt, one thing that I think is really awesome, though, is the expansion of the use cases for both Firo and Conceal as well. Because, I mean, understanding, when they first join or go through the interview process and then join in to the BPSA, and learning about what their respective projects do is amazing. And there's a lot of stuff that with both projects, I didn't even realize they were, actually in the process of completing or working towards. Like with both having their own kind of ecosystems to where you can build onto their own chain and just use them as a base layer to do additional things. So there's some really, really awesome stuff that I learned, during that interview process with them and speaking with them in general. And Ruben, I've known for actually quite a while now. We've had we both spoke at Komodo's event and a few other things here and there. So, but this, even knowing Ruben a little bit here and there, it's still a lot of stuff that I learned about Firo in general. And even with CCX, both projects are building some really, really cool stuff. So.
Yes, absolutely. And all three projects have been around for a while. And actually, I met Ruben because he attended a Conceal Network town hall that I was comparing. And then I reached out to you for an interview, and then I found out you'd already applied for the BPSAA. Because I suggested that to you. Oh, we're already doing that. Okay. Now, I'm going to ask some very basic questions about each of the projects. So this one is that if I had an address for your respective project, would I be able to see inside the wallet? Ruben, if I had a Firo address, would I be able to see inside the wallet?
Okay, so nuanced question for me, at least. So right now, obviously, because of the way our current privacy system works, where we burn coins and then redeem them for brand new ones with no previous transaction history, currently, if you look up an address, you can see what's inside. But obviously, we generate new addresses all the time, so you just see the money appearing there. That's with the current version of our privacy protocol. We are probably about maybe we're starting the audit of our new privacy protocol, which is called Lelantis Spark, or we can just call it Spark for short. And that does despite everything amounts, because it's like an email address, right? You can send it, but you don't know what's going on inside it. You don't know when people can or receive from it. Very similar, I guess, to how Z addresses or CryptoNote stealth addresses work. Obviously, there are some technical differences, but yeah. So right now, no, but in very soon, maybe a couple of months' time, we'll have this fully hidden thing using Spark addresses, and
Right.
it's quite cool. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Mr. Quibs. Thank you, Ruben. Same question to you. If I have a CCX address, can I see inside?
No, simple answer.
Okay. And for Pirate Chain, Draith, I know I can see inside. Is that correct?
Well, if you want to be really technical, if you're a solo miner or a pool address owner, you are required to have basically the transaction rewards go to a transparent address first, right? For auditability, things like that. After that, so for example, once you're a solo miner and you send out any transaction, it has to be through a shielded address. If you're a pool owner, the moment you distribute your rewards, they go to a shielded address.
Yeah.
So to be complete in that answer, they're first sent to a transparent address. After that, it has to be shielded.
Yeah, and after that, you can't see inside at all, which I know. I know that to be the correct answer. Okay, and then the Pirate Chain is a proof of work using the Equihash algorithm. CCX is also proof of work. Isn't that right, Mr. Quibs?
Yep. Conceal is 100%.
And it uses the CryptoNote algorithm. And what's the emission schedule for CCX?
Yeah, that's a bit different than most coins, because Conceal has a flat emission schedule, so we have no halving. So the block reward stays 6 CCX until we reach the maximum supply. And also, basically, the inflation comes from two parts, from the mining part and from the cold staking. So cold staking goes on for, I believe, like another 30 years, and then it's just the block reward until we reach the maximum supply of 200 million CCX.
Okay, 200 million. And then, Ruben, what about Firo?
We are a hybrid system. We do have a version of masternodes and proof of work mining. So we're using something called Firo Power, which is very GPU centric.
Ruben, can you turn down the
Yes.
gain? Turn down the gain on your microphone or something. Yeah.
Sure. I'll just move it a bit further. Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah. So it's a hybrid system, and I guess what the masternodes do is that they checkpoint every block, so that the moment within a few seconds, a block is final the moment it is confirmed, right? So that's why we have single confirmation security. That means if you use Binance or any exchange that supports it, you don't have to wait 40 or 50 confirmations. You just need to wait for one.
Right.
So that's one of the benefits of having the hybrid system, and I guess Pirate also has something similar using the notary nodes of I'll let Draith talk about that.
Okay, well, we'll come to that in a second.
We use delay
Draith,
for work.
we'll come to that in a second. So when you say nodes, is Firo does it offer passive income? Is it part staking?
Yes. Well, it isn't really it's not like a proof of stake mechanism. I think technically it's more like proof of service ish. But yes, they do earn a yield on top of that. Currently, of course, the more master nodes there are, the yield goes down. There's a pie, right? And currently it's about 18% per annum.
Right.
Yeah.
Just for the master nodes or anybody?
Just for the master nodes.
Just for the master nodes.
Yep.
Okay, all right. So it's not like if I held Firo in a wallet that I'd be able to earn passive income off that.
No, yeah, that's right. You have to basically spin up infrastructure to secure the chain to be entitled to that reward. Yeah, similar to mining, just a different way. Yeah.
Okay, and then and that's different from the delegated proof of work which Pirate Chain has.
Delayed
proof of work, because that doesn't offer passive income, and we'll come to that delayed proof of work in a second. But CCX does offer passive income. you want to say a little bit about that, Mr. Cribs?
Yeah, sure. So cold staking is also not like I said, Conceal is 100% proof of work. So the term cold staking is maybe a bit confusing because you think of proof of stake, but Conceal is proof of work. So cold staking is based on hash time lock contracts. So basically, you lock a certain amount of coins for a duration of 1 to 12 months, and based on your length of locking your coins, you get interest paid out. And this interest will be added to the when a block gets mined. This interest gets added, it gets released, and it all happens in your wallet. So it all happens on chain. So yeah, it's definitely not proof of stake.
Yeah, it's like a term savings account. You lock the money in for a certain time, and then you get a certain interest. The longer you lock it, the more interest you get. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And we're still trying to figure out a good name for it because for legal reasons we're not allowed to use the word banking.
Yes.
So we're removing that from all of our pages.
Yes.
And cold staking is not ideal because it confuses a lot of people. So that's why we think of the term private DeFi. But DeFi is also a very broad name, and also has kind of a bad reputation, if you ask me, because of all the
all the rug pulls.
I got a cold concealing.
Cold concealing. Yes.
Cold concealing. That might be a good one, Brad.
And if anybody has any suggestions, put them in the comments below, please. All right.
Yes.
And then Pirate Chain doesn't offer any passive income, but it does offer great privacy, as do the others.
Yes and no.
Yes and no. Okay.
Yeah. Well, not natively. So,
right.
Through war. So, long story short, for Pirate Chain itself, we have delayed proof of work, which is basically notarizing our chain onto Komodo, who then notarizes onto Litecoin. So, to 51% attack, you have to 51% attack all three chains simultaneously to be able to do that, which is ridiculously hard.
Yep.
But as far as earning passive income, we have a token called WAR, which is 1-to-1 with R. So basically, you convert your R through a gateway to WAR on BSC or soon Ethereum, and then you can provide liquidity into the WAR / BNB pair, and then for any transaction that occurs on the network, you get a small percentage of that transaction based on the amount of people staking, or not staking, but staking, just staking liquidity, based off of how much you're staking versus how much everybody else is staking liquidity. So.
Yeah. So providing liquidity on PancakeSwap. Is that right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so you got low fees. It's not on Uniswap with high gas fees, and then you can earn more.
Well, we'll soon be on Ethereum, which is going to be we're utilizing Balancer. So.
Okay.
That'll be probably available in the next few weeks.
All right. Well, I look forward to finding out more about that. Now, the teams. What's the nature of the teams of each project? Who'd like to answer that one first?
We can just continue going in that order. Ruben.
Okay. Go on, Ruben.
I think I understand the question. What do you mean by nature?
Tell us about the structure of the people and how your project is organized.
Right. Well, there is a core team. And we have researchers, we develop our own privacy protocol. We do have, the structure is of the block reward. We do have 15% of the block reward goes to us, which kind of it's about 16,000 Firo a month. Quite modest given the researchers and the developers that we have. Obviously, we intend to phase that out once it's no longer needed. There is also a 10% community fund, which is run by a separately elected community by community members. The core team has no vote in this community fund. Obviously, we can put suggestions, but this is kind of how we are set up. We've been also had some very, very generous donations recently. We had some companies donate 100K or 150K USD to us for us to continue our work. So that's currently, I guess, our main source of income, which is through donations. But we do, of course, have some from the block reward that keeps our research and development going as well. Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Ruben. Mr. Cribbs, what's the structure of the team at CCX? How is it funded?
Yeah, so Conceal is completely community driven, so we're not a company or anything. The core team consists out of 12 team members currently, and basically we are kind of the gatekeepers of the project, so to say. But everyone can participate, everyone can contribute to Conceal. Basically, all the Conceal core team members also were community members at first. And as people gradually started helping us out, depending on your skill. For me, I also was a community member that helped out with marketing every now and then. And then after a while, they asked me if I wanted to do their marketing. So basically, that's how people get into the Conceal Network team. And yeah, that's it.
Okay. All right. And then the funding.
Yeah, so Conceal has I believe 6% pre-mine, which is locked in batches, and every quarter 400,000 CCX gets unlocked, and this is divided into the separate divisions that we have: the marketing division, the development division, community division, etc. And that's how we fund the project for now.
Okay. All right. And Draith, Pirate Chain?
Yeah, so Pirate Chain is pretty much all volunteer based. The original team, with Fishy as captain and a bunch of other people, they all started off just being from Komodo and then pulled into Pirate Chain to start the whole team. And from that point, it was pretty much all volunteer based, which it always was volunteer based, but we just pulled people from the community that show initiative and want to help out. And whether it's developing or writing articles or just marketing in general and so forth. So we're all poor over there, so we ask for donations whenever we want to do something. There's no black reward that goes to us, so everything that we've done that requires funding comes directly from either the team or the community or both. And then so essentially it's just a whole volunteer / charity, pretty much, in terms of funding for any initiatives that we try to do that require funding.
Yes. And I would say that since all three projects have that sort of volunteer community ethos, they're all labors of love. People get involved because they have a commitment to privacy and they recognize the importance of privacy to liberty and freedom. Okay. Now, if people wanted to buy your particular asset, where would you recommend they go? Ruben.
That's a difficult question that's going to make me look bad. But, if you are normie and you have access to Binance, obviously that's the best way. But then, we are privacy coin, but it is the most easiest and most liquid for people who are familiar with centralized exchanges. Obviously, if you're more, if you need privacy, you want to do that in a better way. You have Firo DEX, which is powered by Atomic DEX, which is actually, a project of the Komodo team. I believe also R will be also on it soon. We also have, this is an interesting thing because we do have a pancake swap pool as well, but you're not getting native Firo. You're getting basically a wrapped version of Firo that exists on Binance Smart Chain. There is a proof of reserves. That coin is issued by Binance as well. However, you can one-to-one swap it using Firo DEX as well to get from wrapped Firo into native Firo with all the privacy features. So we see PancakeSwap more as an onboarding mechanism, especially those that may not have access to certain centralized exchanges and stuff like that, and also the ability to participate in the DeFi ecosystem. But I guess, and there's also Trade Ogre. So
Right.
You have all of these options.
Yes. Thank you, Ruben. And yes, Binance. And I was going to mention Trade Ogre because all three cryptos are available on Trade Ogre, which is just to sign up with an email and Google Authenticator, nothing else, no KYC or anything. And it deals exclusively, well, actually no, because it's got Litecoin and USDT and Bitcoin and ETH, but otherwise is the place to go for privacy cryptos. And you just reminded me, Ruben, that Conceal Network, Wrap Conceal Network, Wrap CCX is also available on PancakeSwap. But where else would somebody go and get CCX, Mr. Cribs?
Yeah, the good old ogre, man. We've been listed on many exchanges. I believe like close to 20 exchanges in our complete past. But we have bad experience with centralized exchanges. Each time we get delisted for lack of volume. So basically, that's like a 50 or 100K down the drain for each exchange. We decided that we really wanted to move forward with decentralized exchanges and atomic swaps. But also we have wrapped versions on Ethereum network, Binance Smart Chain, and Polygon network, and AVAX and Bridge to Ergo will also be added. So these are also wrapped assets on their chains that you can swap one-on-one with CCX. But in the future, we will focus on atomic swaps. Also, with Ergo will be our first atomic swap.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the way forward.
And are there any plans for you to be on Komodo's atomic DEX? Do you know? Can you say?
I don't even know if it would be possible. Would it?
It probably is because, but they don't natively support Monero type or stuff. It is possible, but it's a different atomic swap mechanism due to the way CryptoNode works. But yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And Conceal is also not there just yet because we're also still development of multi-sig, which is required for atomic swaps. So.
Right. Okay. All right, Draith, where can I get some R?
Yeah, so the majority of our volume is on TradeOrder. Because that's pretty much the private decentralized exchange to go to at this point. Personally, I enjoy using Polarity because they have penny trades. So no matter how much you put on there, it costs you a penny to trade. Plus, it's a DEX, so it's another reason why I prefer that. But aside from that, we're listed on several different exchanges like Bitcoin and blah blah blah. And obviously, PancakeSwap if you want the wrap version, or if you want to, basically make your assets disappear. You trade whatever assets you have on PancakeSwap or on BSC for war, and then go through the gateway to just make them poof. So.
Right. Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. Now I'm conscious of the time, right? Because I could do about an hour with each of you, and we're not going to do 3 hours digging into your projects. So this is an opportunity for any last thing you want to say about your particular project. And it doesn't have to be the same thing. So Ruben, you could talk about topic X with regards to Firo. Mr. Cribs, you could talk about topic Y. And Draith, you could talk about topic Z. They don't have to be the same, and they can be the same. So Ruben, what do you want people to know about Firo?
So one of the things I guess that I really want people to know about is because we spend so much time on it is that we are actually like developing privacy protocols, right? That means we actually came up with Lelantis, and now Lelantis spot right from the academic paper. Obviously, this work takes a lot of time and money because you not only need to audit the code, you actually need to audit the whole structure that we just created, right? So very very thankful for the donations that we have been given to continue this work, and I think it's really important because there's nothing wrong with existing privacy protocols. ZK Snarks is really good. Ring signatures is really like better tested and all of that. But as Dave said earlier today, earlier this meeting was that we need, each of us have different trade-offs, right? And right now there isn't kind of like a holy grail yet. All of them come with its own trade-offs, and it's always good to have alternatives. I really personally like that we all have different stuff, because sometimes if shit breaks, at least not everything breaks, right? And I hope people kind of appreciate like the work that we do in developing the privacy protocol, and it's quite nice to see, especially like the number one in market cap coin, the Monero, actually taking most of the key ideas of Lelantis Spark to be used in their new next gen privacy protocol, Seraphis. So the whole addressing structure, which allows incoming, outgoing view keys, and all the sorts of flexibility, protected multisig, and yeah, it's just really, really good stuff without going too much into it. But just wanted to highlight that. And if I can highlight one more thing, which is like really cool, is because although we are privacy coin, one of the things that we were very famous for was in 2018, we actually helped the Thai Democrat Party run its primary elections on our blockchain with over 127,000 votes passed nationwide. And we have recently been adapting our technology that we use in Lelantis for privacy voting systems. We're currently in the ground stage. It may not be, deployed on Firo because it has lots of applications in DAOs. Eventually, it probably would come there. But it's a really cool to see that our technology is not just for transactional cryptocurrency privacy, but can be used to really change like politics if people choose to use privacy preserving voting technologies without any backdoors and minimal trust. So yes.
Thank you, and you and I should maybe have a separate video about Lelantis and what's coming up next for Firo. Thank you, Mr. Cribs. What do you want people to know about CCX that hasn't been mentioned that you think would be useful for them to know?
Well, what I want people to know is not particularly about CCX, but it's about people that. What I still see in the scene is that people really have like a one-coiner vision. They don't really broaden their vision. So I would say broaden your vision. Also, a side project of mine is Pursuit of Privacy, where basically there's a whole chat with various developers from various projects. I mean, Firo is in, Pirate Chain is in, Conceal is in, and so are 10 or even more other privacy projects. And just go in there and open your eyes to all the things that are being developed. There's multiple ways that lead to Rome, and it can be really fun to see how each project takes its own path to achieve, to accomplish certain things. So that's what I would like to say.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Cribs. And that's the Pursuit of Privacy Telegram group, and I'll have a link to that in the description below, and people can go and join that and discuss all matters privacy crypto. Draith.
Yeah, so the only thing else that I really wanted to say about Pirate is, check out all the monthly meetings that we have where you get all the updates and stuff. We just had one last week where I go through, a bunch of things that we're developing and all the stuff that's going on within Pirate. And as far as the BPSA goes, one thing I wanted to mention was obviously, go check out the BPSA, all its members, and see what we're all about. But as a privacy enthusiast, it's just awesome to see, specifically the people here in terms of Firo, all the privacy advancements they've made in the space, all the technologies they've developed, and with Conceal, all the applications they built for their own project and everything. It's just awesome to see. So it's just looking at, just in general, the privacy projects within the BPSAA. It's just awesome to see all the developments and applications that have been built for privacy in general. So
yes, absolutely. I'll link to the BPSAA below, and people can find out about that, and that includes other privacy cryptos. And I just want to say something about that. It is in the spirit of the BPSAA that the three of you have got together in this video, because you are all privacy cryptocurrencies, and you could easily be competing with each other. No, we're better than this one, and we're better than that one, and stuff. But what characterizes the projects that are within the BPSAA is the spirit of collaboration and cooperation. So working together in order to promote privacy, security, and adoption. Ruben, thank you. Mr. Quibs, thank you. I know it's very late for you, Mr. Quibs. Very early for you, Ruben. And A nice time for you, Draith, over in the eastern United States as we're recording this, right? That's right, that's right. Ruben is wearing his special Firo pajamas. All right. Guys, thank you so much. I look forward to having you back all on my channel again at some point. And for everybody, if you have any comments or questions, let me know in the description below. Please give me ticker symbols as comments if you don't know what to say. So give me a Firo or a CCX or an R or any ticker symbol you like. R. And between now and when I see you next, please keep filling your pockets with privacy cryptos. This is Crypto Rich and Crypto Ruben and Crypto Mr. Cribs and Crypto Draith signing out. All the best. Bye-bye.